Welcome back, saxophone players. So, by now, you've learned how to put on your neck strap. You've learned how to put your reed and your ligature onto your mouthpiece and put it on the neck of the saxophone. Remember, the reed should be facing down. Also, please pay attention to those ligature screws that they also should be facing down. Okay, now we've got those two main things. Now we just have to put it on the body of the instrument and then also address how to hold the instrument. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. When you put it down, you want to lay it on the side so that the reed does not drag across the floor or any surface. Okay, so here's my saxophone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two hands. One hand on the bell and one hand further up on the other side of the body. Okay, now I'm going to put this on my lap with the bell facing away. We talked about this in lessons. The bell should be facing away. Now, while I've got this on here, I'm going to go ahead and put this, the neck, right in the top hole. Before I do that, do you see this little notch, this little line that kind of goes up a little higher than the saxophone? Yours might not come up this high, but you will always see something right here. You have to line that up with the neck. I'll show you how. There's a line underneath the neck. Everyone has. I've never seen a saxophone that does not have this little bump here. And it should go directly in line with this. That's how you know you have the whole thing lined up correctly. Then there should be a screw on the side towards the top. Mine's pretty old, and so that screw doesn't actually tighten this very much. And you don't need it to be tight. You just need it to not, like, spin around and be a problem. And otherwise it's too loose. So once you've got that lined up, you can tighten this a little bit so it just kind of holds its position. And then on the back, you'll see a little hole. That is where your neck strap is going to go in. Okay, the little hook. That's on the back. And the back of the instrument where the hole is that you latch it onto should all be facing you, not away from you, but facing toward you. Okay, so now you can see that this is what it looks like. This is the top of the mouthpiece leading straight down into the front of the saxophone with the bell ending out facing away from you. Okay, so for this, I'm going to try to sit up a little taller. Okay, left hand is always the dominant hand in woodwinds. So your left hand should be at the top. On the back, and some of these look a little different, but mine is black. This is the thumb rest. Sometimes we push the key above it. That's the register key that makes this gizmo move up and down that we had talked about. But to start, I want your children, or kids, if you're watching this, I would like for you to get used to putting your thumb right on that thumb rest, which does nothing. It's just like a landing pad, I guess, right there. On the front, everybody's saxophone's a little different. The three main keys. You might see I have a little one here. You might have a little one there. You might have one that's up here. Some of them are not like a circle. Some of them are like a metal teardrop shaped key. It doesn't matter. You don't push any of those. You only push one finger on the first main key, second finger, third finger. Now, if you're a little confused about the top finger, go from the bottom. Third finger, second finger, and then you should be able to find this one. You'll know that you've got it a little wrong if your first finger feels like it's really extending up high. It should be right here, okay? Now, some kids I noticed, when they're doing this, their hand position's not like, they're kind of going like this and they can't reach. But do you see how my angle of my hand is up? You want to bring your hand over, okay? Pay close attention to these keys on the side because little hands bonk these very easily, and it's frustrating for them because they can't get the right sound out because they're bonking these palm keys. We call them palm keys because they kind of fit right in the palm of your hand. Okay, so you want to try to keep an open shape with your hand so that you don't bonk those. Okay. Your bottom hand, which is your right hand, will find this little hook on the back, and your thumb will go underneath it like that. Okay? And then this is easy. So fun for the kids to not even feel like they have to look. They don't even have to look. They can just feel there's only 3 keys down there to push. So that's an easy one. We have some pinky keys here that we are not going to use for a good while. But if I'm holding this, left hand on top, 1, 2, 3, thumb on the rest, right hand underneath the thumb hook, and 1, 2, 3, the whole thing should go off to your right hand side. Okay, now if you have your neck strap on and you're like, oh, something changed, this is not right, your neck strap should come straight to your mouth. This is a little high because I have to tip my head back. So I'm going to lower it just a smidge. That's better. Okay, so now your child can just go ahead and blow through. You can play lots of sounds, just kind of experimenting with the fingers, maybe one at a time, add a finger, and see what happens. Taking the instrument apart, let's talk about that. So the first thing you do is you unhook the neck strap, you loosen that screw so that the neck comes out. Now notice my left hand is holding the body of the instrument because I'm right-handed. So if you're a lefty, you've got to do it the opposite because you're going to be stronger with that hand. But my left hand is going to hold right here. My right hand's going to twist that neck off gently. I'm going to put this down on the side. Now I'm going to take the main body with 2 hands, place it right back in. Okay, then we can take off the ligature. This is important. I can't tell you this enough. Make sure we always take the reed off because whatever little bit of germs you have in your mouth will spread and have a party all over this mouthpiece. Mouthpieces can be washed. That's not a problem. You never want to put water down the inside of an instrument like that is a woodwind. You could damage the pads that are sealing when you push your fingers down. So you don't ever want to do that. Cork doesn't really like a lot of water either, but this mouthpiece is the only thing your mouth is going to go on, and this is 100% washable. Okay? So I've taken all of those things off. I'm going to put the neck away. I'm going to put the ligature back on. You do not want to screw that tight just because you're putting it back on, because then you have to unscrew it to do it all over again. So just leave it loose, just how you have it. If you have a mouthpiece guard, you want to put that on. And then you want to take your reed holder and you want to stick the tip side right back into that carefully so you don't accidentally chip it. Okay? Done. And that's it. Congratulations. Now work on that lots and lots so you're really good at it by next week. All right. See you then.